Okay, thank you all for coming tonight. We're in for a special treat. We're celebrating National Poetry Month, which is the month of April. And with that, I would like to give a warm Rockford welcome to our very own performance poets, the Poetic Justice League for America.
El sueño americano, el deseo de fuertes trabajadores, el deseo de ser libres, la esperanza de dar más. El desierto nos reta con rocas escabrosas, flor espinosa, sombra, mi única compañía. El sueño americano, el máximo sueño. Procesión silenciosa, marcha a lo desconocido, millas a caminar, dirección sin destino. El sangriento sabor al borde de mis labios, tonatio flagelando mis hombros. La arena empieza a conquistar mis pulmones, la sed solo pide una gota de líquido. Mi sueño americano se ha convertido en una valiosa gota de agua. Hoy por siempre me despido, alejado de mi hogar querido.
Our eyes have grown accustomed to the dark.
Nuestros ojos se han acostumbrado a la oscuridad.
Money, power, sex, drugs, blood, guts, media visions. Our eyes have grown accustomed to the dark.
Nuestros ojos se han acostumbrado a la oscuridad.
Bar bands, quick hands, keep your eyes on the red card. Make it rich. Lie, cheat, steal, get everything you ever wanted. You just best not take it from me. Our eyes have grown accustomed to the dark.
Nuestros ojos se han acostumbrado a la oscuridad.
We have forgotten the old ways. How to love, honor, respect. Mitako yeo yasin, I am one with all. We are all related. Providing for each other, taking care of each other. Listen to the four-leggeds and the winged ones. Listen to the grandfathers. Listen to Mother Earth. Great Spirit may not always give us what we want, but always knows what we need. These are the things that we have forgotten because our eyes have grown accustomed to the dark.
The American dream, the desire of hardworking beings, the wish to be free, the hope to provide more. Trail to follow, adorned with sharp rocks, prickly flora. Shadows, my only companions, the American dream, the ultimate dream. Procession, silent march into the unknown, miles to cover, direction uncertain. My lips bloodied, tonatio, sun god lashing at my shoulders. The sand begins to take over my lungs, the thirst, only wishing for a drop of water. My American dream has become a precious drop of liquid. Today and forever, I bid you goodbye, far away from home.
Because our eyes have grown accustomed to the dark.
You were interrupted while working the gardens of your land by this smiling, smooth-talking, gold-toothed man.
How you doing, baby?
And his smooth-talking salesmanship was as American as stealing land and making mistakes like calling our only true American Indians. But then he smiled, this big smile that didn't exactly match what he was saying, and he'd elevate his tone and his gums every time he talked about the greater good of the land and of man, and then he spun you around and around and around again until you were too dizzy to read, and that's when he'd say,
"Sign here, please."
And as a small token of our esteem, we're gonna let the Indian be our commercial representation for American originality. How about that? Just make no mention of your Chief Ross or your Captain Jack, and let's keep to a hush what we did during the gold and the land rush. For in this our home of the brave, our land of the free, our natives lacked the one survival skill they needed to succeed: greed. And now intruders outnumber the original possessors, and your children are denied access to the lands of their ancestors, and a few pieces of stolen property became total control. And they chiseled away, taking all that you hold, leaving you with nothing. Then they stuck their hands in your chest and they pulled out your soul and watched it seep through their grubby fingers like the dirt that they stole until what was left was
nothing.
And you were temporarily blinded by the gleam in that smile, but awakened to find that pimp of a man putting his hands on the virgins of your land, taking all that they had, leaving them with
nothing.
Stealing all their grand piety, they had to find the one, the less than. So they granted that government deemed nothing Native American the right to buy an
African slave.
And you might say, what does that have to do with me today? I don't know, man, maybe nothing. I just wanted to warn you about that smiling, smooth-talking man, because now it is at your door that he stands with a camera in his hand and a fistful of microchips to infiltrate your microcosm, still talking loudly about the greater good of the land as if man is better served if he knew what knowledge I received from my library card last week. And a few pieces of stolen property became total control. Now, I can't tell you not to let that man in. I'm only here to warn you about that smiling, smooth-talking, gold-tooth man.
Recent studies, oh, what a surprise, have found out that reading activates the logic and reasoning parts of your brain. So watch TV, boys and girls. In those wretched countries where a man cannot call his tongue his own, he can scarce call anything his own. For whosoever wishes to overthrow the liberty of a nation must begin so by subduing the freeness of speech. Benjamin Franklin said that. And that is why I am one single confused male in desperate need of a quotarian, as America's train of thoughts is becoming just a bunch of empty boxcars that Willie wouldn't even ride. So I'm forced to hide my treasons inside my rhyme, but every time I get up on stage, my rage, well, it's just a pretty show. Because you already know everything about to come out my mouth. Man, you've heard this all before.
A wise man speaks because he has something to say. Fools, because they must say something. Plato.
So what can I say that ain't already been said, man? I got nothing in my head. Nothing but TV episodes and song lyrics that I use to try to confuse and abuse. Man, I ain't got no magic left. I'm just a victim of self-destructive theft.
Everyone thinks of changing the world, but no one thinks of changing himself. Leo Tolstoy.
So what can I say that ain't already been said, but I got all these thoughts shooting through my head, shooting stars, one and all, I'm sure, but are they really pure? Are they really the cure? Can I truly say that I'm spitting the truth when I'm relearning old lessons about myself each and every day?
He who knows others is learned. He who knows himself is wise. Lao Tzu.
So what can I say that ain't already been said? But all these voices in my head won't let me stop writing until I write all the wrongs that lead to all the songs that make heroes out of killers and fashion out of shackle thongs. Man, we done gone and forgot that whole concept of divide and conquer, like black buffalo soldiers slaughtering the savage red man, when all they really should have done was just take the time to maybe extend a hand and maybe even try to understand each other. Maybe then our motherland wouldn't have left us all just a bunch of bastards.
In 3 words, I can sum up everything I've learned about life.
It goes on.
Robert Frost.
So while teachers were telling me that what I do isn't poetry, I was taking my rhyme and finding poetry of a different kind, because it just kept echoing in my mind. Man, the reasons are clear. It's the truth everyone fears. Like Chuck D once said, the crowd's so near, but you still don't hear. So what can I say that ain't already been said? Well, I intend to beat this horse because it's dead, man. It's time we all just wake the hell up before we all just break the hell up. And if I'm just repeating myself so much, y'all just feel like numb from the neck up, fine.
Ralph Waldo Emerson once said, I hate quotations.
Tell me what you know. So over here on bass, we have Mr. Chris Kramer. The center of the Rockford poetry movement over here is Debra Jo Howard. Bilingual education over here by Mr. Elias Soria.
Balaam, Balaam, Balaam. Silenciosa criatura silvestre, leyendas te localizan entre dioses, creando mundos, devorando corazones. El hombre te adoraba con esculturas y cantos alegóricos. Fantasma del bosque, cuando menos lo espera la presa tuya has invadido sus entrañas. El fiera audaz, en tu honor, caballeros eran reconocidos como guerreros jaguar. En templos ancestrales encontramos tu cara alegre, contraste a sonrisa llena de feroces dientes. Balaam, Balaam, Balaam.
We are red, sunset over the black hills, scarlet rocks at the garden of the gods. Flesh of crazy horses you ride to the Badlands. Blood of our ancestors still flowing through pipestone. Flames of the sacred fires. Face paint of the fiercest warriors. Eyes of the hawk as he circles the earth for prey. We are red.
Stealthy wild beast. Legends place human gods, creating worlds, consuming hearts. People appease your spirit with allegorical temples and chants. Ghost of the forest, when your prey least suspects it, you are already enjoying the entrails. Savage beast, the greatest honor for a warrior to be recognized as a jaguar knight. In ancestral temples we find you with a happy face, contrasting vicious smile. Balaam, Balaam, Balaam.
Since 1492, when that killer Columbus sailed the ocean blue, people have been running for their lives from boot heels, running from guns and knives. Well, maybe if he had had the respect of Eric the Red, 3/4 of my people wouldn't have been left for dead. Labeling this a new world is nothing but tragic. For 100,000 years, the people have danced in its magic. And finally, we expose the false, oppressive ways, and they think that they can shut us up with Native American names. Well, maybe if they had the respect of Eric the Red, 3/4 of my people wouldn't be walking dead. Offer a mountain of scrap paper for the Black Hills and then cloud our awareness with alcohol and pills. What will it take for a closed mind to understand? The people belong to this sacred land. We die and finally become soil.
We can cross continents in hours that used to be days. Our world is wireless, our lives limitless from science. A continuous churn is now but the buttons pushed. My automobile is automatic, my information is instant from science. Science has done much for us. Science has done much to us. But there's a man in the bush with no toilet to flush, but we work feverishly to get him access to our internet for science. And misguided men make guided missiles for makeshift missions for science. And with manipulated research, suppressed truth, and exchange data, we can dismiss, excuse, or promote anything with science and a scientist in need of a grant. You see, it wasn't so long ago when one such said quite scientifically that my or any one of my people's brains were too small to consider us whole, not like a real man, so that the oppression could continue justifiably through science. And now science says it's not your fault, it excuses your vice as you demoralize or devitalize the people around you with science for grant writers and grants. You see, a house can have a brain, but 1 million children have no home. You can HEPA filter your room, but you can't desmog the earth. You can guard your child from the man on the street, but they lay chest up on the stone on the information highway since pedophiles have been granted electronic association through science. And you can freeze me and tease me with elongated life. You can tuck me and suck me in illusion of creating fresh life with science, but has science preserved man? Or has the scientific depth of morality pushed man's toes to the edge? Isn't science saying we're making all things grand, while reality says we live in a pool of death? Didn't that scientist and grant writer promise to make anything true? And I laugh at the delusions, because I remember when my brain was supposedly too small to be able to recall that it was science who said, "You're not even man."
A little love, a little love. Spread the love.
Love. What the heck do we know about love? Yeah.
You've all experienced this kind of love, I'm sure.
My friends feel it's their appointed duty. They keep trying to tell me all you wanna do is use me. Well, my answer ain't all that use me stuff. Yes, I wanna spread the news that if it feels they're good getting used, you just keep on using me until you use me up.
Man, forget these eggshells. I'm walking barefoot on broken glass every time we pass in the night. Daily, I prepare myself for yet another heart attack. Because every day, you attack my heart and start this vicious cycle clawing away itself again. And remember way back when we swore that we'd always be friends, and now we're just trying to pretend that we ain't just falling for the fallout. Residual sex effect takes its stranglehold grip over the entire situation, perpetual manipulation like a blanket of night, extinguishing the light, turning our tunnel of love into just another blackout. Man, there are as many sides to this story as there are definitions of commitment and honesty.
My sister, she sat me in her room and she talked to me.
Oh yeah? What you said?
She told me that I ought to not let you just walk on me. And I'm sure she meant well.
Well.
But when our talk was through, I said, sister, if you only knew, you'd wish you were in my shoes. You just keep on using me until you use me up.
Hey, breathless, I love you. Giving without limitations, many nights full of loving whispers, inventing and inviting unequal sensations. Remember when you wanted me, now with every opportunity you want me to burn in hellish flame? How quick we forget. Whatever happened to those lasting dreams? How about all those exhausted mornings? What about all those endless promises? How about all that was surrender? Tell me once and for all so I can leave satisfied but incomplete. For what you've given, for what you've taken.
Sometimes, yeah, it's true, you really do abuse me. You get me in a crowd of high-class people, and you act real rude to me. But oh, baby, when you love me, I can't get enough. And I want to spread the news that if it feels they're good getting used, you just keep on using me until you use Talking about you using people, it all depends on what you do. It ain't so bad the way you're using me, 'cause I sure am using you to do the thing you do.
So even though you fractured my knees and brought me down to my knees, all I can think of to say is, please don't leave.
Until you use me.
We got one more for you. I'll come and join you if you want to leave it for you.
Thank you for sticking around.
So if you were mildly amused or maybe somewhat entertained, every Thursday evening you can find us doing this and having an open mic night at the Lyric Live at 3023 North Riverside, and North Rockton. And there's a lot of really good food there and good beer and good poetry. So Thursday night, 7 to 9. Come on, check it out.
Soft drinks? They sell soft drinks.
Soft drinks.
I hear sirens, and my son is not at home. He only half answers my questions, and when I ask him for sustenance, he feeds me garbage. He's hiding heavy things behind a poker face smile, and it all drags behind him, digging a mighty canyon, and he's teetering on the edge as a gusty wind is blowing, and I hear sirens, and my son is not at home.
Sirens.
The sound of fear painfully pierces my spine, and I spend stressful moments vomiting out last straws in the ash of the discontent that vibrating howl violently shakes my spine until I am but a puddle of flesh, and it's so easy because it's so stormy inside and out of my home, and because I hear sirens when my son is not at home.
I hear sirens and I know what song they sing. Insensitive hand loads weapon, reneges conscience, pain, the only thing he knows. Does not care about his skin color. Daily a battle within. Nothing gives a reason to kill. His heart does not bother, no time to recover. Alive in 1 second is over. Angry soul has become stone. Because long ago this fucked up world he let go. I hear sirens and I know what song they sing.
I hear sirens, and those distant sirens are crying for all of our shame when we forget the shadow dwellers who forget their own names. Even when they walk right on by in the light of the day, denying peripheral vision quests, demanding at least a mere glance or just half a chance, or brother, can you just spare like a smile or a nod in some lame hope that they might understand why today they're not getting that helping hand. It seems that fighting the good fight is lost all its shine, and we haven't had many applicants in quite some time. So tell me, can you hear the sirens?
I hear sirens, and my son is not at home.
I hear sirens,
and I know what song they sing.
I hear sirens, and those distant sirens are crying for all of our shame.
I hear sirens. I hear sirens. I hear
sirens. Thank you.